Wait, correct. AB 109 is the Public Safety Realignment trailer bill.
That's right. This trailer bill goes along with the constitutional amendment to return more public safety authority to the local level in terms of low-level offenders, post-release supervision, state parole, the Division of Juvenile Justice, making various changes to implement the governor's realignment package.
Clearly, there is much devil in the details here. And I just want to note that the administration has worked very successfully with a lot of the stakeholders, and I believe that there is, dare I say, universal support at this time. There's no major opposition.
I think no major opposition would be fair. I wouldn't want to.
No, I don't want to be presumptuous. I want to respect all
but we have certainly the changes that we made in February were reflective of conversations with the counties and the various public safety community. We, at the get-go, we said we were interested in a collaborative process, and we do feel like this product reflects those conversations.
Right. And clearly this is also a significantly different proposal than which you had put forward in January. And as we discussed in conference committee, when this realignment is fully implemented by 2014, we'll see a $38,000 reduction in our state prison population, which is the goal that we had been directed to aspire to by the federal court. So we will be succeeding in that, as well as, and as a result, if we take a $25,000 per year savings cost for each inmate, the Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation's budget will be reduced by $2 billion by 2014, fully implemented, which is a great accomplishment on all of our parts, because that's a department that we know continues to grow, and that the savings will be to the general fund, because the funding for this realignment, of course, we hope to see on the June ballot, and that's where that funding would come from. Senator Wolk.
Just briefly, Mr. Chair, the three bills, 109, 111, and the constitutional amendment, together make up the realignment package, which accounts for, I believe, close to $6 billion in savings, which is almost is more than 20% of what is facing us this year. But I think that there are two things I wanted to say. The first is that this is a budget significance, certainly, but it's also more than that. It's going to be a different way of doing business, which by realigning services to the local level, we hope that the end result will be better value, better outcomes for the very people who are receiving the services. The second thing I wanted to add is that we really can't speak enough about, positively enough, about the process by which this is in front of us. The counties came forward early on, worked hand in hand with the administration and with the legislature to make of this proposal, these proposals, positive outcomes. And I think that that's something we really need to emphasize. We're not finished. There will be implementation, but the counties have shown, and the other, all the constituents that work within the counties, I mean the sheriffs, public safety, the health, human services, all of this really worked well together and should be congratulated for that. So hopefully at the end of the day, this is better government and better results for the folks that are served. Thanks.
I concur with all your comments. Thank you. Senator LaMalfa.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have to point out 663 pages is this document, and the amount of time that we're making such giant policy changes, and without, I represent 12 counties, and I don't have buy-in from 12 counties and out of the 58 at this point here. This is such huge policy change, and I would love to have the opportunity to work this on a more protracted timeline here to make the kinds of change that maybe local government can make more efficiencies, but this is really kind of a scary way of doing business on such an important policy change for our state. And I wish we could slow it down and do it a little more correctly.
Mr. Chair.
Senator Anderson, go right ahead.
Well, I have gone through a cursory look at this, and I'm going through it in a deeper level. And the concerns I have is that it limits or eliminates probation for child beaters, drug dealers, and gang members. And it would be much more palatable if the committee would consider adding an amendment to allow all Californians to carry concealed weapons, since we're going to be fending for ourselves.
Thank you for your comments, Senator Anderson. I would take objection with your assessment of the trailer bill, as I think Senator Cohn would as well. Mr. Cohn, if you wanted to respond, I don't think that's quite an accurate statement.
No. In terms of supervision, there is a transfer of supervision from the state to counties, but there will continue to be post-release supervision. In addition, we were expecting the counties to enhance the levels of services provided to former incarcerated folks, so that we're expecting better outcomes rather than worse outcomes.
And what we're in fact doing is giving the local authorities flexibility to use evidence-based successful programs to lower crime rates by keeping former offenders successful in their probation and parole periods, which will mean less cost to the state, safer communities, and using best practices, whereas currently whenever anyone trips up, we send them back to state prison at close to $50,000 a year. It's unsustainable. We've seen the percentage of general fund that we're spending on corrections double from 5 to 10% in just the 8 years that I've been here. So this is long in coming, and I would underscore Senator Wolk's comments. This has been a long process with stakeholders, and Senator Lamolf, I hear your frustration, but at the same time, this has been a work in progress for many, many, many months now, and anyone who's had an interest in this could have followed every detail of it. Senator Hancock.
Yeah, that was honestly the point that I wanted to make too, Senator Leno. I don't know about other people's constituents, but my constituents were in all the time talking about what they needed to make this work. I think the fact that law enforcement is now pretty uniformly on board, along with the counties, is very, very important. This is going to result in not only saving money, I think, but making safer communities. And it will be a huge step in the right direction in a system that has pretty much been generally agreed to be an expensive failure in California.
Thank you, Senator. Without objection, we'll take a vote for the Public Safety Realignment, AB 109, as an 11-5 vote. Colleagues, I want to backtrack just very quickly. AB 107, I don't